Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fiscal Court. Before we start this meeting, Monday is Memorial Day. I would like for all of us to stand and take a moment of silence for all those that sacrificed the ultimate for our freedom here in America. And after a moment of silence, I'm going to have Thomas Bolden open us with a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we do come to you humbly and thank you so much for your love and watch care. We thank you for this great country in which we live, and we thank you for the freedoms that have been fought for and paid for with the ultimate sacrifice of even life, Lord. And we thank you for those men and women who voluntarily served our country with just pride and dignity, and with a selfless concern of themselves and sacrifice so that we may have the freedoms that we enjoy here this day. Lord God, may we not ever forget to remember those who are currently serving and those who have served our country. We just take this time, Lord, to honor them and thank you for them. Lord God, we do know that freedoms come from you, and we thank you for that. We pray for those who stand up, for those who are being oppressed. May you find us faithful, Lord God, in standing in the gap when it's needed. Lord, I ask for your wisdom this day as we conduct the matters of court. May everything we say and do be pleasing unto you. May it be glorifying to your kingdom, and may it be good for those whom we serve. Lord, we thank you for those who have decided to serve in county government. I thank you for their willingness to do that. And again, may your Spirit lead them, Lord God. Lord, we thank you for your love and mercy. We pray that you go before us now. We pray this in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Let us call this meeting to order by saying the Pledge of Allegiance to our great flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, good morning, everyone. As we start this meeting, we have an amendment to the agenda to add item number 10, which is the agreement between the Kentucky Department of Agriculture and the Logan County Fiscal Court providing supplies for mosquito spraying.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. First item on is approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, next up on the agenda is representative from the Lewisburg City Park.
You just come up here.
Yeah.
How much
Tell us what you want.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy, how are you?
Forgive me, I'm new.
Welcome.
We're still
Okay.
figuring it out too.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's been a lot of figuring it out. I'm here to request money for the city park fund that you guys have. I can read you this letter, or y'all can go over it. You want me to just read it? Okay. All right. Logan County Fiscal Court. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to tell you what we would like to request funds for Lewisburg City Park. We would like to request the full $8,000 for the park. The park is in need of a lot of work. There have been some things added over the years, but I would like to try to update some of the old playground equipment that has been there most likely as long as the park itself. My plan is to have the old swing set, climbing bars, trapeze poles blasted and sandblasted and then repainted. And we would like to add 4 new swings to one side of it, 4 baby swings to the other side of it, and then I'm going to get to the swing set, and then we would like to add trapeze bars and handles to the trapeze bar that's there. I would also like to have the merry-go-round pulled up and moved to a better location. As of right now, it's slanted because of the hillside that it's on. It's still stable, but it really needs to be moved to a more level surface. We would also like to purchase a dome climber and an expression swing set. With any remaining money, we would be purchasing mulch to fill in 2 of the 3 playground areas, and we would really appreciate anything you guys could do to help us out.
Sounds like
And what's the request
Let's
now?
go.
The 8,000.
$8,000.
I make a
Okay.
motion to award Lewisburg City Park with the $8,000 that they've requested.
Second.
I have a motion.
No, it's 8,000. That's what's budgeted for this week.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this? I think that merry-go-round is the same one I fell off of multiple times in back in the
Yeah, you're not
80s.
alone.
What's wrong?
That's possibly the reason, yes, that's possibly it. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Okay.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, guys.
Next up is representative from Lead, Ms. Brooke. Good morning, Brooke.
Good morning.
Hello.
I'm here on behalf of the Logan Industrial Development Authority seeking support from the court for, in the form of a resolution, which I believe you all have on your iPads, is that correct?
We do.
Okay. Then I don't need to give you a copy. We're just needing support for a grant that was a 2022 Kentucky Product Development Initiative grant that we hope to be receiving. We're going to be using it for infrastructure upgrade that will benefit West Industrial Park. And we just need support from the court so we can proceed with these funds.
Make a motion to approve this resolution in
Did it give an
support.
amount?
The grant is for $666.
Up to $666,739.
So it can be anything up to that.
Up to that, yes ma'am.
Second.
Second.
You got it.
Oh, third. Put me down for a yes.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all for your time.
I'll get this signed and back to you
Get
soon.
all of it.
Next up is to approve all bills, claims, and the supplement bill list.
I make a motion to approve the bill list and supplemental bill list as presented.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second from Jamie. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up on business is our treasurer's report. Miss Amanda Stratton, come on down.
Good morning, court. Don't have a whole lot for you today. But I do have quite a long list of budget transfers in your on your iPads that we need to get approved.
Budget transfer. Longer and longer.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Sorry. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just, for the roads are new on court, as you kind of get closer and closer to the end of the year, that list will get longer and longer and longer. Because everybody's having to move money from here to there, to finish out the year.
Thank you.
It may be 5 pages.
No further discussion?
Questions later, but that prevents me from having to do that.
Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
I do have actually three cash transfers for you today. We need to transfer $150,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Road Fund.
Jason. I make a motion to approve that transfer of 150 from the Occupational Tax Profits Tax Fund to the Road Fund.
We're doing each one separate.
Yes.
Okay, so. 1, 2, and 3. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
I need to transfer $180,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Jail Fund.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second.
Y'all have a hard time spending money.
Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And I need to transfer $125 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Special Reserve Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
$125. Bother 'em.
If not, roll call, please.
What's the
Davenport,
special
Yes.
reserve fund?
Goodwin,
That's that
Yes.
$1 million.
Wilcutt,
Oh,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
That's just to
Yes.
show activity.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
That's all I have for you this morning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Who seconded that?
Kelly Wilson's not able to be here this morning due to work they're trying to get done on some roads. So let's go to road work request, District 1.
District 1, continue maintenance. Appreciate everything, Kelly. I don't think Kelly's here, is he?
No.
Kelly,
Did you not
wherever
listen to a
are.
word I just said?
He wasn't paying a lick of attention to you.
Yeah, sorry.
District 2.
Continue
Did you say
maintenance.
Kelly wasn't here today?
Explain why.
District 3, I put on the list that needs some Momax trimming on Cedar Grove Road at the bridge, and need to talk to Kelly about Ferguson Road drainage, but otherwise continue maintenance.
Thank you.
District 4, we got a pothole opening up on Skipworth Road. Need to get that addressed, and then everything else looks good, just continue maintenance.
I seen that pothole. It looks like a swimming hole. So I thought that was part of the park system now.
Okay.
District 5.
Yes, I'm going to put this in paper form, but I've got East Logan Water has a tower on a Basham Lane off of Cemetery Road that is draining down, washing the road for the residents.
Yes, ma'am.
We need for Kelly to look at that and see if we can add that to the county roads.
Okay, absolutely. District
Adds
6.
a road to the county road?
Yes,
Is that
it's a
what you're
lane, it's a
requesting?
private drive that was put there originally, but East Logan Water has put a tank there. and it drains down on the road and washes it out.
I'm
I've asked East Logan Water to come look at it, they haven't done so yet, or if they have, they haven't told me.
pretty sure the tank was there before the houses were.
Well, maybe,
Yes, ma'am.
but now the houses are there.
Yeah.
So there are houses on it, that's what
Two.
I'm, okay.
And right now, private residence is grading it, rocking it, taking care of it, and it washes out every time it's big rain from the East Logan Water tank.
Yeah, Kelly just had to evaluate it, and if it can be added.
That's what I just said.
All right, thank you. District 6.
Continue maintenance. Thanks for everything, appreciate it. Kelly, wherever you're at.
All right, we've had all the requests. Can I get a motion to accept request?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Next up, elected officials. Sheriff Stephen Stratt. Nothing there.
Strat.
Gonna load us up. That's a first, I'm telling you. County Clerk, Stacy Watkins. She has something on the agenda, so that's, wow, what's going on
Stacy,
here?
I introduce you to the grooms. They are going to be coming to see you to move their registration. They're new in town. I told them you were here and I couldn't find you. Last name is Groom. Last name is Groom. Right here, they're a nice couple right here.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, let's move on. Jailer, Josh Toomey.
No, Josh got
You got 3 or 4 pages there.
Good morning, Court.
Morning.
Felt like I just seen y'all last night, right? All right. As of this morning, our count was 167 between the county side, state side. And as I mentioned last court meeting, we discovered a leak in the holding tank for our boiler. I was able to get those quotes together, come humbly requesting the court's assistance for replacement of that boiler reservoir holding tank. I've got 3 here, one from wholesale water heaters, one from Ferguson Enterprises, and one from water heater distributors. I want to take a look at the
This
3.
is equipment only.
Yes, well, the equipment and delivery, the installation, time and materials with HMC versus it's only what it takes to put it in.
167 inmates. Was that county or state?
That's both together. We're about even at this point. We're trying to get those numbers up.
Right.
Only about half of the state inmates are, of course, eligible for work details, but we're
Right.
trying to get those
Right.
numbers up, but that's
I heard you
every
say
facility.
sometimes you have to travel 4 hours one way.
Yes, our Class D coordinator's doing a great job. She's calling every facility looking to see if we can get any more, if they're looking to swap inmates out. And they're hard to come by, but we're able to get 6
That's what
from
you
Eastern
said.
Kentucky,
That's what you said.
bring in some more numbers. We were able to swap out some of our locals, state inmates with some another county's local inmates so they can go out and work, so they're not stuck looking at 4 walls. They can get out and they want to work too. That
That
helps
makes them
pass the
out of
time.
county somewhere else.
Yeah, yes,
I got it.
yes, ma'am. But
Okay, well, I'm really grateful for all your work.
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen some really good things.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. And they've worked hard in the facility. We're working on painting, redoing floors, walls. They've cleaned and made the cells look brand new. They really have come a long way. So in a short time, but we're still working on it every day.
You can
So,
pass it on. People have said how nice it was.
well, thank you.
Josh, is all these readily available?
Actually the cheapest bid, which was the bid I was gonna recommend,
$88.40.
they have it on hand and they can have it to us within like 2 days from Pittsburgh, is what they're saying. They'll put it on a truck and get it here within a couple days, but they have theirs on hand. Others, it'll take a
So
few
the one
weeks.
from Pittsburgh, you can get right away.
Yes,
How did that compare?
and they were
price-wise?
they were the cheapest bid. So,
When does that happen?
yeah, very seldom, but in this case it did. So I handed to my man over at maintenance, Mr. Sheets, helped me find those, and he done an outstanding job in a short amount of time finding those, helping me find those bids.
Put a little more money in parts.
Well, I'd definitely go there if they can get it right away.
Can we do, like the last meeting, we bought the dryer or washer? Dryer?
It was a washer.
Washer.
Yes.
We used the funds that we've been holding, right?
On the compensation money?
That check, the funds, the hundred and some thousand.
Oh, the money you gave back?
Yep.
The 128,000, is that what it was?
Is there any reason why we couldn't just use the same funds to purchase this?
Doesn't bother me.
Is there enough there still?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was like
Is that the-
120 something thousand.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I didn't have it.
Washer was like 16, this is 8, something.
Yes.
What account did that go in, man?
The way that really works is that it goes into our jail fund, and it doesn't just sit there, it pays your bills as they come in. So at prior court meetings, I had to transfer less cash. So it's not just sitting there as $123,000, it's been used to pay other bills. So if we're, if that's a bill that we're going to pay today, and then we would have to transfer more cash money to the jail fund.
So right now, there's not $8,500 there.
Not in addition to what I transferred earlier.
Oh, no questions about you, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying, so like what I transferred earlier was their bank balance as of today, and then I put their bill totals on there, what I'm estimating for payroll and what I'm estimating for utilities until we have court again. And I did not figure that bill in there, so that we would need to transfer that additional money if you all decide that that's a bill that we're gonna pay today.
Well, you need hot water, right?
According to HMC, he's the expert. I mean, he could say that it could make it a few months, but it could rupture today, and then we.
Have mopping.
So, yeah. So
I went
it's
down.
hard
I went
to say.
down and looked at it. It's
Oh, you've already.
questionable. Yeah, it's questionable. I don't. It could, like you said, it could blow out today. It could blow out tomorrow. It could last a year. But at this point, I think we probably need to go ahead and.
Well, Amanda can make it work.
I make a motion that we accept the low bid of
8,880.
8,480 plus freight.
Yes.
88.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. 8,880 from water heater distributors, and transfer the necessary funds to the jail fund to cover the cost.
Second.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Sir.
Harper, Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Have we reached out to any, like, the team in Clarksville that brought us a shower trailer last time to see if they'd be able to bring that back?
They would.
They would?
I'm going to
Okay.
follow back up with them, but that wouldn't be a problem.
So-
And then speaking with that YPAC group that Brother Mike got us in touch with, that may be able to help us, and maybe at no cost this time.
Great.
I know there was an issue with the, but this time it'll be worked out. So
Okay, great. Great.
How long will you be?
You haven't,
Yeah.
they said a couple days.
that's why I was asking about
Get
it.
it out, unhooked, and put in.
That's
So,
why I was asking about a shower trailer to make sure we can get that there, so.
But yes,
Excellent.
working on logistics on that if the court was approval. So
Perfect.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
I don't see any other elected officials. Let us move on to department heads. First up, Ginger, you said ECC. Come on up. You've got some good news for us.
Yes,
We need good news.
I just want to brag on my staff here.
Absolutely.
The two that just graduated the academy class was a class of distinction. It's the first one they've had since October 2019. which means everybody in the class scored over 95%. They had no failures, no disciplinary issues, anything like that. My two girls, Megan Davis graduated with a 96.32%.
Wow.
And Miranda Smith graduated with a 96.24%. So that says something about our training, so I just
Absolutely.
wanted to share that with y'all. I was really proud of them.
And how many openings do you still have left?
Two.
Two.
We've got one scheduled to go to the academy in July and one scheduled in September. Then everybody I have on staff will be certified.
Great.
So we're kind of working on trying to get the others kind of moving through a little bit further. The last one we hired in February, we're trying to get her a little bit further before we hire another one. Because
Great.
when we had the 5 new ones at one time, it was kind of challenging.
I can only imagine. But now that you have them trained, maybe we
Yes.
can get someone else in there.
Yes. The other thing I got's on the agenda. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ginger, and tell your girls, tell them congratulations. Next up, archives, Denise Shoulders. Will you come up and explain what you sent to me? Because I'm very excited about this. I think it's going to be great.
I'm more than happy to. So one of the announcements that we have to make for you guys is starting June 3rd, which is a Saturday, at 8 a.m., the archives will now be open for Saturday hours to accommodate the tourism aspect of what the Genealogical Society does. We'll be open every Saturday from 8 to noon. It's not just for research, it is for tours. We do encourage anybody who wants to conduct their research to come and visit us. This is really aimed at people who have been requesting this, who also work in government. So when we're open, they're open. When we're closed, they're closed. And for people who do get off work around the 3 o'clock hour, but by the time they get to Russellville, it's usually around 4, and we close at 4:30. So, and if you're not of the research crowd, we do encourage you to come and take tours of the old jailer's residence in the jail and learn some of the history and some of the stories that have been shared with us. And the other thing is, in about 30 minutes, the news is going to hit our Facebook page. We are hosting the first ever overnight night at the archives. It will be June 23rd. It's a Friday night starting at 6 p.m. and it will go until 7 a.m. on Saturday the 24th. We're limiting it to 10 people because, there's only so much space in the archives. The registration is happening on our Facebook page. We are taking a waiting list in case somebody's plans change and they have to back out. We also are going to expand the waiting list, so if we get the interest that we think is there, that we can host another one in the fall. The event is being sponsored by the Logan County chapter, Sons of the American Revolution, the Colonel Benjamin Logan chapter. They will be sponsoring a late night snack, and Vicky's Restaurant here in Russellville will be providing, sponsoring breakfast on the morning of Saturday. So, and it is a totally free event. The only thing you'd have to pay for is any copies you make. But we're excited.
I'll tell you, if you could just get a furniture store to put some recliners in there.
We might not get any work with recliners.
Is that going to be in the paper too? Because Boy Scout troops, that is a huge, huge draw for something like
it is. It is in the paper in the community events section. Yep. That's really it.
Denise, thank you for all your work down there. I think those tours are going to be wonderful. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right.
June 23, 24.
June 20.
Solid waste. Come on up, Nathan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a couple of announcements of what's going on. Just want to let you know the jail crew is picking up litter again. We greatly appreciate Jailer Toomey and the work getting it out there. So 2 days a week they are picking up out there. I saw them out 6880 East, starting it up again. So we're glad to get that program back going again. So, we did have our e-waste day, as you may remember. We took in about 8,000 pounds. So that is a little bit of actually a significant uptick from what we had in 2022. So it's always good to have people taking advantage of the events. So, and the company that we worked with was gracious enough to give we had some TVs from the detention center that actually they were willing to take for free for us. And so I just wanted to appreciate the company we worked with on that. I was sitting here and it flew out of my mind.
Sorry. When you know I'd ask. Sorry.
TriStar?
Yes, TriStar Recycling.
And of
That's
course.
right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Nathan.
No, that's okay. But we appreciate, they're out of Nashville. We appreciate what they did on that. So I did have in the iPads with the Apex, that's the last facility I need to inspect, and I waited a while because I wanted to make sure, see what they were up to out there and talk to Ms. Crawford about that, who of course is the magistrate with that, where that is. And I visited last week and did the inspection I do. Out front it is cleaner. There's still work to do, but along the roads it does look better than it did in the previous time. And they also have pushed the piles a little further back, and they're not as big as they were. Their plan is to put it all under roof by the end of the year, and I wrote some of that out on that sheet that I gave you all. So if you have questions, we can do it, but I just present that for renewal if y'all are good with it.
I have one question.
Okay.
I did hope that Apex could keep their pile that they are supposedly making into mulch, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
At less than 2-story level.
Sure.
Because you can see that from the Shaker Tavern, which is of historic value. And then you've got 6880 with traffic coming through. I think could just get it below 2-story
Sure.
level.
And his plan, it is somewhat lower. I'm not sure exactly
It looks a little better, but
yeah. His plan is to build 2 buildings out there to put that in, and so that's what he's told me. And
okay,
he's
so that'll
building,
help with that on site.
yeah, that's his ideas. So,
Okay, thank you so much.
sure.
I want to brag on you. The Walmart area on Highland Lake Road
Oh,
looks
okay.
much better.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Keep it up, or
Sure.
hopefully Walmart will be a partner with you on that, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so. I've talked to them about it, and I hope they will continue. And we'll have probably a nonprofit group out there too, especially when they get it mowed. They're starting the mowing again, so we'll hopefully be able to get some work out there.
Mr. Mead would be very appreciative.
Sure, sure.
Great, thank you.
So, we all good to approve this, or?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
There we go.
Wonderful job.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. I got it. Jason got a second on that. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you all. And one other thing I wanted to mention, the nuisance committee did meet via Microsoft Teams last week, and I thought there were some productive things that were said and went over, and I know Deborah's promised, the lady with the state's promised to continue to be a resource, and I just mentioned this to say I'm not sure the direction that the group wants to go from here, but I'm happy to be a resource and work with it as much or as little as you all would like as far as the meetings go. And I do have some thoughts. I was just thinking about it over the weekend. I believe it could definitely be a benefit to me, just giving some clear consequences if people keep their property a mess. Just giving something that's a
I gotta give
consequence.
Tyler a shout out for that meeting, because he had the camera that could span our county, and we could look at some of the things. I mean, it's one thing to hear about a problem, and it's another thing, Tyler, that was huge. And Tyler showed where there were issues that probably need to be looked at, and then dealt with from the kind level, and then a little less kind level, and then maybe state level. So I really do think that was outstanding. Thank you.
awesome. So I just put that out there.
Yeah, I think maybe after we get through the budget, maybe we start next fiscal year, maybe we can get a little more proactive on trying to figure something out.
Okay, sounds good.
By the way, she did a good job.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah,
Very good resource
appreciate
to
it.
have.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
sir.
for setting that up, Nathan.
Absolutely. Yep. Appreciate y'all.
Excuse me, next up, EMS. Good morning, sir.
Good to see you all.
Just following up on the stretcher that we talked about at the last meeting, just to recap for everybody, we've got $10,000 of grant money that has to be spent by the end of June. We voted to buy that Power Pro stretcher from that vendor, went that afternoon to purchase said stretcher, and it's gone. So, which is just a little bit of a step back. I brought quotes for the same stretcher from 3 other vendors, and they assured me that the cot would be there
How
if
close
we
in
should.
price are they?
They're fairly close. That's the same thing. They're fairly close.
Thank you, sir.
Just to kind of summarize what you're looking at, the last one is the cheapest one. However, it is not a refurbished stretcher. It's a used stretcher. It doesn't come with any batteries or a mattress. So, yeah. The front 2, however, are refurbished stretchers. So they've been gone through, certified. They do have a warranty. They come with batteries and a mattress, both of those. The one on the top there is the least costly of those 2. That's a vendor we use regularly. I've got a lot of faith in those.
And did that stretcher have most of the bells and whistles of the second one?
The first 2 do, yes, the first 2 do, the third one does not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one at the top one, I see there's no shipping. You guys would go pick it up, is that correct?
No, I called them and I wanted to talk to the vendor on the phone in person, and I said, I just want to double check on the shipping cost here. He said, no shipping on that item. We'll send it right to you for free.
Just clarify.
Yeah,
Just
I had the same thought. I was like, I don't want
Do we
to.
need to retract a motion that we did to purchase the other one before we purchase this?
Yeah, probably.
I think so, yeah.
Go ahead and just to be on the safe side, retract and make a new motion for this.
I mean, if it's not available, it's nothing to retract, right? Wouldn't you just make a motion to buy this one because the other one's not available anymore?
Go for it.
Well, it looks like we're gonna need a second one here before long anyway, so.
I mean, is that how that works? We don't have to make a motion, to retract a motion to buy something that's not there, right?
Not really necessary because
How much was the first?
Yeah.
Yeah, before shipping, and I think it had like a $300 shipping, so it was going to be a hair over 10. I think.
So
Could-
we've got $10,000.
Yeah.
So I make a
You got
motion
$10,000.
that
Yes,
since
sir.
the other cot was not available at the time that we got it authorized, that we make a motion to buy this one that is available for a power cot for 11,669.
Yes, sir.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
What was it called?
Quad, man.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any further discussion on this?
Slow down there, Mr. Baker.
Things only go so fast.
I'm trying. I'll give you a second.
Got the energy drink
Got
over
the
there.
energy drink going on up there. Ready to go.
4 hours of meeting yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Somebody make a second.
Yeah, Jason, Chris did.
If there's no other discussion, when Hannah
I
says
would
it's
like to
time.
make a comment right here.
Okay.
There have been many concerns in Auburn and up in the northern and
Sure.
far reaches of this district about the ambulance.
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I have been conversing about that
We have.
ongoing,
Yes, ma'am.
but I want this on public record.
Okay.
You got to a constituent of mine within 5 minutes, way out on Bucksville Road, which is stupendous. And I want it on public record that you have accomplished that in Auburn District.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are making available your comparisons from each level of the county,
Absolutely.
from the Russellville Dispatch.
Certainly.
And that way, I can show my constituents
Sure.
the level of comparison to the rest of the county, how Auburn is affected.
Well, I appreciate that, and our doors are always open. We're fully transparent on our response times. The men and women out there do a fantastic job, in my opinion, and if there's a way to improve, we want to know it. But any of y'all feel free to stop by and look at our books anytime, and we'll show you what we're doing. Nothing to
Well,
hide.
5 minutes is unbelievable. That was great. Because her husband had stopped breathing.
I wish we could be everywhere in the county in 5 minutes, so we do the best we can with what we got.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you all, and I'll get that order right away.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Go get it before it goes.
Well, yeah.
Next up is Humane Society. Come on up and give us a report.
Good morning. I only brought one of these, but this is in case y'all want to see our upcoming events. And here's the shelter director's reports.
Every day.
This is for April. Our beginning shelter count was 89 total, 68 dogs and 21 cats. Our intakes of animals in the stray category, ACO pickup 33, that was 33 dogs. Police pickup was 3, being 3 dogs. Citizen drop off 12, that's 10 dogs and 2 cats. We had no abandoned animals last month and 4 court case dogs. We had 14 owner surrenders, 9 dogs and 5 cats. Returned adoptions were 4, being 4 dogs. Our total intakes were 71, 63 dogs and 8 cats. Outcome of animals, shelter adoptions were 36, being 31 dogs and 5 cats. Rescue were 33, 13 dogs and 20 cats. Euthanasia, 17, 14 dogs and 3 cats. Reclaimed animals, 14, 13 dogs and 1 cat. Died or lost in shelter care was 1 total. Total outcomes excluding owner euthanasia request is 101, 72 dogs and 29 cats. Our adoption or placements, 83% live release rate. Ending shelter count, 59 total, being 59 dogs and 0 cats.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. That ends all of our department heads. Next up is judges' announcements. I have a list here. Let's start with May the 25th. A public meeting is being scheduled to present alternatives for an improvement project on US 79 South in Logan County. The meeting will be 5 to 7 p.m. at Russellville High School. Once again, that's May the 25th, this Thursday, 5 to 7. If you have any concerns, Russellville High School. May 29th is Memorial Day. All of our offices will be closed, so make plans if you need to extend. June the 17th through the 30th is the Logan County Fair, located at the Logan County Extension Office. The Fair Board has worked really hard to get that out and improved, and there's a lot of events going on, so if anyone's available and you've got time and just want something fun to do, come out and have a great time. When will the rides be opening for that?
Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Tuesday at 6 p.m. is when the rides start. There's a whole list on Facebook page, correct?
Yes.
Take a look at it, come out and enjoy. It's all the judges' announcements. Next up is reports. I think
That meeting's also today.
yes, sir. Today from 5 to 7 at Guthrie. Yes. Yes, I apologize. I'm headed to that.
Catholic Church there on 79.
Yes.
Because graduation is Thursday, and I've had some people ask about
Yes.
that. So.
Yes, my apologies.
It's from the same time, 5 to 7.
5 to 7 at the Catholic Church in Guthrie. I can't remember the exact address. Pardon me?
St. Francis.
St. Francis Catholic Church there on 79, going right before you get into Guthrie. Thank you, sir. Next
I
up.
just need a lot of people, several people be going to graduation.
Absolutely.
And
And
they're not fit.
next up is reports. We should have a report from the building committee on the proposed coroner's office renovation.
So we had received bids for the renovation of the coroner's office out on Thurston Lane on the facility we already own. Due to the cost of that being extremely over budget of what we thought it would be, the committee would make a recommendation that we reject that bid. That is a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion involving this? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And we'll be working on some other
Yes, sir.
alternatives.
Yes, sir, we sure will.
Soon.
Next
What is that?
Excuse me, next up is citizen participation. If anyone in the county has any concerns, please come up to the mic, introduce yourself, and that's your time to discuss any public business. All right.
I'd like to welcome Miss Smith, who's new in our community from Colorado. She is friends with Mr. Ezel, who's a regular attender. We appreciate her for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Miss Smith, and welcome to the community.
Thank you for everyone that showed up for the meeting here.
What's she doing?
She just moved from Colorado here. She
You just want to see, oh.
yeah, just want to see how county government works. Second and Breathitt. She lives right here in town on Second and Breathitt.
Jason, or is that Tiger?
Thomas.
What?
Is that
Second
yours?
and Breathitt Street.
Second and Breathitt?
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to be in the 6th district.
He's
So if you
okay.
have trouble.
He's okay.
Now, you know,
Here to help. I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
That's funny.
that's funny. All right, next up is old business. I don't think we have any, so let's, wow, we're record pace today. Let's go into new business. First is open bids for food service at Logan County Detention Center. At this point, we only received one bid. So,
Jason, my last one, the judge was like, the judge does ever give us.
our one bid is from Kelwell, who is currently taking care of our food service.
We got two.
Once we get that, we should have sent out a notice like, you've reached your
They live on
same
West Side.
price. Are you?
In Russellville.
This agreement was not to exceed for the first enrollment. That was just for the first year. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, something should have been brought up. This was back in June of last year.
At this point, we're
So
gonna,
Two or
So,
three more times this year.
you know, in the past, we've always, I think it'd be, makes sense for Jailer Toomey to go over this and compare prices to what we have now versus what they're, that long list of prices they have for the meal counts. I mean, I don't know, there's 3 weeks between the next court meeting, but I don't think it has to be done before July 1, right?
If we do
When was the
like
current
that, I'm gonna
contract?
give you a project budget right up front.
July 1, I believe. Is it,
July 31st.
okay. Do,
The sooner we have that, the better off it would be in case we have to modify budget numbers at all for upcoming budget year.
We just
I don't
need to
go
be
too
able to
deep into
compare
this roof
those
thing to know
prices.
what the estimated the budget to be.
do, so, Josh, how long do you think it'll take for you to review that and come back with an answer compared to the difference between?
More specifics by this afternoon, just a short time, I call the owner, he comes, visits, they do a good job.
Do we want to compare it to last year's contract and just see what the number of differences
We
are?
will pay the difference out of our commissary fund where we upgraded and moved to the most calories that we can offer from where we were at the lowest. Changed that and we were paying the difference out of our commissary fund, but to give the men and women over there the most calories I can give
What
them.
was-
The food, upgrade the menus,
What was that difference from
as far as the cost.
what we had budgeted to what?
It's roughly 35,000 a year difference more, but it goes up to 2,850 calories per meal.
Are they gonna bill that difference separate? I mean, they're still gonna bill the fiscal court, so we have to,
I can get you the differences.
No, he's saying he paid that, so that would have never come through us.
so they're gonna bill you separately for that.
They were. I bet you this has got the
Continue to have
upgrade
that.
in it.
If need be, make sure that we have a cash flow from commissary to ours to pay the bill.
I'm just listening to the undertones of what you're saying versus
What I say.
what, you know.
Of course.
Right. Uh-huh.
If you can.
Let me see it.
So the 35,000 additional that we need from commissary, we have that established, that's like the real bit from that. Because we're gonna be paying the bill, right? No, we're gonna bill it separately. Okay, so
That makes a big difference on their, their atmosphere,
Okay.
interaction between.
Okay.
We never see it.
all right, so that's all I need to know.
Are we looking at an increased load? What you thought?
You know, we never see the additional that he's paying on commissary. They bill that separately, so that's all I need to know.
But this quote is based on what? The same that we as a court had budgeted last year, or is it the upgraded one? Because I don't read it anywhere on here. It doesn't say that this, and again, I don't know how you call it, level 1, level 2, level 3, a 2,000, a 2,500, or a 2,800. It doesn't say that anywhere in the quote.
And I'd be happy to get more specific, sir. All it takes is a phone call.
Did you see it, Jason? or Chris?
Yeah.
Send me a CD.
And did you see it, Jane?
I did.
I didn't quite understand it all, but
Well,
I think he needs to do some evaluating and make a recommendation.
Right. Agreed. You want to table this till next meeting?
So we could table it and act on it in June.
not a no.
You're the Kelville Pro. We want you to look at it and tell us, come back and tell us what, you know.
Be happy to.
So,
So I guess we need to make a motion to table till next meeting.
I'll make a motion to table these action on this bid until a future meeting.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. If it's okay with everyone, let's take a quick recess and come back at 10 o'clock.
That's all I have.
Yes, sir. Oh, I thought we were already back online. We're on. Welcome back. Let's go to item number 2, open bids for Newtown Road Bridge project. At this point, we did not receive any bids. Just spoke with a couple of the people, and there was a misunderstanding on the date. So we're going to, I guess I would like to have a motion to
Re-advertise, won't you?
re-advertise, exactly.
Can't win for losing.
I think it's a sign.
Next year's money.
It snows you lose.
If I'm, well, let me look into that part of it.
Don't we have to, in it, this year's money?
I think, let me look into it. I don't want to overstep and say,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking that we can take that money and roll it.
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
but let me check.
Oh, yeah.
If not, I don't have a problem at all with making Jason come to a special call meeting. So,
I hope you don't get a quorum.
Yes, yes.
but yeah, I do need 2 more of you other than Jason.
If that's okay, I'd like a motion to re-advertise for bid for this
So
project.
moved.
Second.
I got a motion and a
Is this the
second for a
Newtown Road?
re-advertisement.
Got to rebid,
There's
yeah.
no further discussion. And Hannah's ready. Roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Holden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 3, discuss emergency communications center phone system. Ginger, come on down.
Come on down to the prices right.
I put in the middle of the thing, there's the contract. We were under a contract with Motorola Emergency Call Works. The contract ended. They have sent a new contract, basically, that they're wanting us to sign. There was some confusion on whether or not we owned the equipment or not. I think, I was under the impression we did, and I've had Joe look at it, and the judge looked at it. Did we ever? Scott looked at it.
Ambiguous and unclear, it's one of those.
Yes.
Jurisdiction is not here.
Mm-hmm. But when we originally signed the contract back in, it was 5 years ago, so 2018, we were under the impression that we were making payments every month for 60 months, and at the end of 60 months, we owned everything. We made a down payment on it.
Lease to own. Sorry.
Lease to own. They come down and brought me this new contract to sign, and I didn't know if we wanted to continue with them or if we wanted to look elsewhere.
So now they say you don't know.
So, the current contract ends.
It's ended now. They
ended
didn't
now,
send it
and they
until.
haven't came- Say they're gonna come pick up your stuff.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They haven't, they didn't send me anything until I started contacting them about, what's under maintenance and stuff like that, because we had some issues that we needed fixed. And then that's when they told me we were no longer under contract.
We'll have to probably,
That's a big contract. It's like a 50-page
yeah,
contract.
I'm just getting serious, I mean.
How much money had you sent them? Counting your rental, what you.
It was about $550, about $500,000, wasn't it?
Really?
So-
I'm sorry.
Over a 5-year period. We made a down payment on it of like $200. We made a down payment on it, and then we made the rest in installments. It was like $1,500 a
And
month.
you happen to, and I'm pushing, you happen to recall what year that was?
2018.
Oh, 2018. That was my question.
So, just educate us on what this portion is. It is your phone.
This is our phone
This
system.
is your phone system that that is also attached to your computer, right?
It's our phone system. Any calls that come in, it's all under this system. 911, admin lines, anything comes in on this. And we have maps that are attached to it as well.
So let me ask you this. I had read this contract, I'm even going to attempt to in
Yeah.
this session. Is there any cost in this contract?
Yes.
Okay, then we need to read that contract.
There is cost, basically, they will come down and upgrade everything, and it's about another $1,500 a month.
So it's the same,
basically the same.
the same.
Mhm.
So you was having issues and you called.
Yes, we had an
not
issue.
under contract, but they
Mhm.
didn't say they was coming to get their equipment or.
Mm-mm. I actually called Derek because the issue that we were having was between, we wear a headset down there that works between our radio and our phone system. It was working on the radio side, but the callers, yes, the callers couldn't hear us on the other side. Derek ended up down here and we replaced it, what, 3 times? And we at one point in time at that one station, we were answering the phone with a regular handset and then talking on the radio with our phone headsets.
Is a new contract necessary, or do we just need some replacement?
They're saying
equipment?
we don't own the equipment.
They're saying we don't own it, so
We have to do something.
we have to do something, or they could just say, hey, guess what? We're coming to get it.
So Joe, was the unclarity in the old contract or this contract?
The old one.
I just looked at the old contract, and it was one of those where
Yeah,
sometimes you could maybe clear up ambiguities with emails or whatever, but Ginger wasn't aware of anything that did that. I haven't looked at this yet, but I think she's more looking for which direction do you want to go? Do you want to look at a continuation, or for her to reinvent the wheel and start over? I'd be happy to go with the contract between.
I had emailed it to you and Karen.
This says December 6, 2022.
Yeah, that's when they said we were out of contract. That's when we made our last payment, was in December.
Well, I mean,
And they just started contacting me within the last month. Or last,
Be a no-brainer about cost. I mean, go somewhere else, you're spending $500,000 buying new equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that we should clear up. Like, is this, Amanda, do you have this equipment on our inventory list?
It's on our inventory.
I don't do the inventory,
Oh.
Karen does, so I'm not sure.
It is on our inventory.
But I would say if we're renewing this too, it's not going to be our equipment under that.
Right, and I don't want to run into this again in 5 years. I mean, might be somebody else's problem in 5 years, but
If we renew this contract, are they replacing the equipment? Or
they're going to upgrade, do all the
Upgrade?
software upgrades and all that stuff.
And realistically, the equipment we have is pretty much
It's
out
5
of
years
date.
old. It's,
I guess you all can prove it contingent upon me reading the contract and being okay with it.
yeah, Derek's been looking at other things through Zetron to see if they have anything. But I know that if we do go with something different, we would have to put it out for bid.
Correct.
So the $1,500 a month, that covers just the phone system?
Just the phone system. Because I have maintenance on all my equipment down there.
But
That
you're
covers.
currently paying that.
No, we haven't paid it since December. When it,
Honestly, if that contract is gonna be more than $30,000 or even $40,000, we still have to put it out. for
Right.
bid.
okay.
Even if
So-
it's over an amount of
So if we're
several
doing
years.
5 years at 1,500.
So we need to just advertise and put it out for bid,
Yeah, and they can respond.
make him respond to that, because he's coming down and talk to me tomorrow, so.
I think that's a good idea, honestly.
Well,
That way we
I
can
think
look.
the judge needs to be there to answer
Yes.
the question, why, and you don't ask it, is it mine? You say it's mine.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
then
told him, and
prove
he come in
why
and he
it's
said,
not yours.
no, he
Here's
come
the
in.
contract is $500,000. What'd we pay you $500,000?
That's what, because
Exactly.
we all
To come down and set
understood.
this piece of equipment?
Yeah, now we're
That-
paying
that- That's not
90,000
even,
in the next
that's
5
not
years.
even
And-
make
and-
any sense to me, does it? I mean, I don't. buy
It didn't to
equipment
me
like
either,
that.
because I understood when I did the
$500,000, I wanna see a
contract,
fleet of trucks sitting in your front
I understood it
driveway.
was ours. I mean, we wouldn't have just leased, I mean, we've never just leased equipment and then them come and get it.
Right.
But,
But
and
the
I
phone
mean,
system is also like software on the computers. And also in addition to the, I guess, support for that, they support you. And then also the actual physical phone.
right.
Okay. So, I mean, it is more than just a phone system, but yeah, I think we need to put it out. I mean, we're gonna have to, it's over 30,000 over,
Right.
over the period of
I
contract.
felt, I didn't
agree,
like
but
the way
it
they
still
did
doesn't
it.
answer the question about
Who owns it?
When they
And-
come down to talk to
Motorola
me,
would need to-
when they come down to talk to me the first time, I told them I thought I owned
We
it.
still have to pay for support or
One
something.
thing I'll say that is good to have somebody like Scott or expert at tech, and sometimes there are industry standard language as to what certain things mean. So as I read it, it kind of said both.
Yes,
When
that's
Scott read it, it said both.
exactly. It wasn't real clear.
Because I would also say we're talking about 5-year-old technology, how hard do we want to fight?
Right.
To get potentially obsolete technology.
I mean, software.
I'm talking about the phones.
The phones themselves for 5 years, I'm keeping phone system longer than 5 years.
Well, because I originally, when they come down and told me that, I never knew that we didn't own the equipment per se until they come down and told me that. And the first thing I did is went and pulled the original contract. And I read it and I said, I'm looking at this like we own it. So I took it straight to the judge and we looked at it, and then we had Joe, and then it went to Scott. Because it does kind of backtracks back and forth to where you don't, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And we had never been told, because we signed this contract in 2018 and it was never discussed.
So I mean, I think, we have a new board. We didn't sign that contract. Well, Thomas was on, I guess. But no, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I mean, we all need to kind of learn what that's about. So we need to put it out for bid regardless whether we find out we own it or not.
Okay. We put out for bid that equipment, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't put out for bid.
To lease it.
No.
Right.
To lease it. I mean, we put out the phone system. Didn't we get a partial grant?
Not for the phone system, we didn't. The grant was for the CAD system.
Okay.
We put in for a grant that year and we didn't get it. So we ended up we made the down payment on it. It was like $259,000 at that time, and then made the rest in installments.
I guess it would help.
$500,000 for other than some support and lease.
I guess we need to go back and look at the bid specs and see if it clarifies, because that's one thing I did not do.
Leasing the equipment?
Yeah, whether it says lease or buy or own, or if it even mentions that language in the bid spec. Do you know for sure if it said anything?
The request for bid.
Okay, I can go pull that. I'm sure that they have all that stuff down there, don't they? Because I can't imagine that we would have said anything like that.
It did not say anything, we want to lease equipment for the 911 center.
So
I'll start there, and then we'll get, I guess, specs ready.
Correct, and have specs ready for next.
As long as we don't think we're in any kind of jeopardy of you getting your stuff picked up.
No, they haven't. I mean, I'll know a little bit more tomorrow.
Okay.
So. No, it does not. And where did that? Do you want me to just take this contract back, because I don't need to see that if we're going to put it out for bid?
Correct.
Do you need it? Would you like me to just, I can just, scan.
Right. I think if not, I've got a copy of that in my office too.
I have it on email. I can email it.
Tyler would love to read that, every word.
Tyler probably would be better at it. But,
That's a compliment, Tyler.
I never would have, I don't think he would have ever agreed just to own the
Right.
equipment for just a.
I don't think so either.
Well, if that's the case, let's just come back and revisit this.
For 2,000 aren't fully of the same mindset, and then the ambiguity becomes legal.
Okay, so I'll get some specs ready for, and y'all can get my specs in approval next week. Do y'all have to?
Mr. Ross,
Yes, ma'am.
when there's ambiguity like that in the contract, how does that hold up in a legal situation?
It'll ultimately be for the court, which way it's gonna go, I'm not 100% sure. I would say, based upon what it said, I would be more likely than not to say it wouldn't go our way, unless there were other things, and maybe the bid stuff did, but again, I think, pretty sure the jurisdiction is what, Illinois or somewhere in the Northeast, so again, it's similar to the issue with our contract that we have over the tax system that we talked about a few weeks ago. I would have to go to another state in order to litigate that issue.
You couldn't do it here.
Right.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Makes it tricky and expensive.
It's one of those things, I mean, I would suggest everybody look at that, because vendors are great when you're in step with them, but as soon as you try to break up with them, then, the lawyers come out and they're not as necessarily as
All of a sudden, they're not friendly.
All right, next.
Pretty rough on your own trade there. Yeah.
It's just the truth.
Well,
Only nice one.
I just wondered, so the
I
litigation,
mean, I'll be honest, the one that, the response I got from my letter to that we sent over the program was, it is not set well with me, and I haven't decided what my next response is going to be, but they're not somebody I would want to partner with, and I don't think the court will want to.
Yeah.
It might get resolved in another way. And
Next contract, just move to a different vendor. We don't want to deal with people like
yeah,
that.
they hired somebody that doesn't seem to understand that was the communication I was trying to give them, and they just wanted to argue with me, and it's like, well, it sounds like we both agree, we're just gonna do what's in the best interest for each of our clients, and that may be to not be together. But right now, where it stands, I've gotta go to Indiana where I don't know the law or have a bar license. So like with that one, if we really wanna push
to
this
look at a
issue-
litigation situation.
Right, and so if we want to push this situation, we might have to go to whatever state that was. It's not Kentucky.
Oh, good grief.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Number 4, discuss recommendation appointments to the reapportionment committee. Sorry, that was a mouthful. Stacy, please come up and help us with this one.
Wow, Stacy, you look nice.
Thanks. You do too.
Y'all match.
We do.
We coordinated this morning.
Okay, so we've discussed reapportionment a little bit. The start of that process could begin on May 1st. We ran our ad for 7 days, and now we are to the point where we can suggest who we recommend that we appoint to be on that board. The judge and I have discussed, I've talked to Jamie a little bit as well. Our suggestions are Rhonda Pope Sullivan, who is coming from District 5. And very active in the community. We love that. Our second recommendation is Alan Woodard, coming from District 2. And then the third recommendation we have is going to be Clarence Gamble, and he is coming from District 3. So he's coming from yours, Chris. Clarence is a returning member, which I love because we're all, other than Pam, we're all new, so it's going to be a new thing for us. But from the moment that we get approval to appoint them, the judge will get them an oath, and we'll have 60 days to present you guys a plan on what's going to happen.
What districts were they?
District 5, District 2, and District 3.
I make a motion to appoint Rhonda Sullivan, Alan Woodard, and Clarence Gamble to represent the reapportionment committee.
I'll second that.
All right. If there's no further
How does the parties, like, how does that divide out?
The party doesn't really play into this. The main
So they
thing,
can all be Democrat?
diversity,
They can all be Republican?
they could be.
Couldn't matter less, hopefully.
it's a nonpartisan
It's
position.
nonpartisan.
Yeah, I second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Krista, so
Sure.
once they make a recommendation, I guess, on the lines and stuff, is that like a public hearing or something about it? or
So
something
what we'll
happen?
do, it's Brad, I'll be honest with you, it's going to be Brad that's going to handle the reapportionment. So they're already in preliminary, ever since the census was out, they've been able to study those numbers and see which districts will be affected. In yours, it looks like y'all's are going to be the most affected. Our goal is we have to get it within plus or minus 5%, the population in those districts. Once Brad gives us something, we all vote on it, then we're going to present it to you guys. We have 60 days to present something to y'all. Y'all will then have 60 days to either adopt that in or amend it, and then you'll have 60 days to come up with your own suggestions and get your own studies and things done, I suppose. So, but I'll be honest, we are heavily relying on Brad, as all the counties do.
So is there a public comment requirement to that process?
It'll
Or is
come
this just-
here.
Or just us?
Yeah, it'll come
Just-
here,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if you were required to like advertise.
We did advertise
meeting.
for this. I don't think there is another advertisement requirement after this. I can look through and let you know.
And,
but
and these, once this is settled, it will not go into effect till after the
November
general
8th.
election.
Yes, yes. So if your district gets changed, you won't have new or less constituents until after that November election. So
This comes, okay.
it will start after the November 8th. It can't go into effect until
Using
November
the
8th.
census for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mhm. And we are going off of the 2020 census. This should have probably been done 21, 22, but because of COVID, it just got delayed by the state. And then we also have to go through an approval process with the state. So even if we come back and we all agree with what we want, if the state doesn't approve it, we won't. So.
The only reason I asked, I just sort of figured there would be a public meeting per se, because I know I've had a lady that's right on the line of me and Jamie that's like, what can I do to get in District 2, you know? I think, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Dang.
Move.
She likes Jamie more than me.
Wow.
Yes.
It was a case where she always thought she was in that.
She may wind up being now.
There will be plenty of public meetings because it'll all be up here, so if people are interested.
Right.
So
So long as Brad does
a good job, yeah.
It sounds like from talking to Stacy, they've got a plan. I think I would recommend highly.
They have so many, like, laws that they have to follow, like deciding where those boundary lines can be moved to. I mean, they can't just throw it anywhere all willing. It has to be like along a permanent creek bed or, you know, something of that nature. So they have all the specs.
No, I just wanted to ask that in case asked, I can say, hey, they're going to have a meeting, you're welcome to
Tell them to come here. So basically what we're doing now is appointing the 3 people that's actually going to travel to Brad and go, and look at their different recommendations. So, and then we'll bring it back and present it to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, guys. No, I want you to eat it. Somebody's stuff is up here.
I think that's what we'll get it cleaned up. Next up on the agenda is approve the court facilities local government reimbursement form, for the Logan County Judicial Center for fiscal year 23-24. That is on your iPads.
Is that the same amount as last year?
I do not honestly have an answer for that.
It says it's based on actual cost, so we know utilities increased. I'm not saying they increased more than what was budgeted, but when they say it's based on actual cost, I'm just making sure we're covering just, you know, utility increases, you know. What else? Janitorial supplies.
Okay, I know that they have taken one thing off of there. They were renting some space, so I know it has, one section has gone down. They were renting a space at the jail for a while, but they're no longer using that, so I know that came off.
Was that for the remote?
That was for the pre-trial. Thank you. Totally went blank on that one. The pre-trial, they're now doing that at the Justice Center.
He's doing it because of COVID, right?
Well, they had been down there for years.
Have they? Okay.
But I think they evolved to be remote, so that you can have one person service multiple.
Last year, our budget number on that was 223,250.
Say it again.
223,250.
223,250, and it's
So
now,
over 50,000 more.
yeah, it's now 275,600.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
You might get that new carpet after all.
Yeah, hey, there we go. We'll tell them. We're still going to ask for it again, though.
Absolutely.
Ask for them to pay for it. I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes. Is that you said?
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 6, approve the previously signed 2022 EMA program funds. This is your emergency management funding.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion?
So 2,700,000. Who's getting this 2,7.6 million?
That's total funds for the entire
State,
program,
yeah.
I would assume, because we do not get that.
No, we do not
For the
get that.
state.
We get
So
it.
we contribute. Okay, all right. That's not our emergency road aid.
No,
This is-
no.
this is basically
This is
Rodney's
yes.
emergency management
Just, I guess, approving our portion of that.
for their salaries and supplies, and
What they
they
reimburse
reimburse
us.
us 50% of what we spend.
So you get 50% of this back.
50% of our cost.
50% of our cost.
Okay.
I have a,
Clear as mud.
okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 7, hold the second reading for ordinance number 23-820-01, an amendment to an ordinance creating and adopting an asset valuation policy for the Logan County Fiscal Court. This is the second reading of this.
Yeah, they sent it to us next month.
Just hand it to him.
Motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 23-820-01.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by
You got that.
someone out there.
You know we do paper, rock, scissors all the time.
You got it.
Second by Thomas. He won. Rock, paper, scissors there. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 8, hold the second reading for ordinance number 23-830-01, an ordinance relating to the licensing and penalties of solid waste management facilities and sites. We had the first reading. I don't think anything has changed since the first reading.
Move to approve the second reading.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Chris. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 9, approve participation in the CAECO online reverse salt auction. We're going to look at, I think it was 100 tons this time with the reserve we have, and then we're actually owed a little over 20 tons. We're just waiting delivery on that.
Second.
Who made the, oh, Tyler, I'm sorry. Jamie made the second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question about the reverse salt auction? Just a question.
Number 10, approve agreement between the Kentucky Department of Agriculture and the Logan County Fiscal Court providing equipment supplies for mosquito spraying.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion?
So who will be doing the spraying?
We had a job position posted and that kind of fell through, so I think
Right.
we're still looking to fill that.
Well,
right?
there's two possibilities here. We'll have to get someone certified to do that job, or we could possibly put it out for bid for someone to do that. as a subcontractor,
Using our equipment.
using our equipment.
Was
The-
in the States okay with the subcontract?
Yes,
using our-
I spoke with him.
He called me.
Billy came by from the state. I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name. Billy came by from the state. There you go, Billy Walker came by yesterday. We sat down, we spoke. He actually had the equipment in the back of his truck, similar to what we would be getting. And we did a brief overview of it. They're willing to send someone down and ride with them the first night to show.
Yeah, we actually even approved a schedule that we were going to do this spring.
Thomas suggested each magistrate just spray their own district. That's what he wants to do.
Did not suggest that. That's
Well,
a
it wouldn't be
hard
bad.
number.
I don't think ours gets no day out.
Not really, it surprised me that they're only 100, they got them big as you can hum.
We got a lot up there because we got a lot of rivers up there.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
My apologies, a couple of things have been brought to my attention.
Maybe we do own it.
Give me just a second.
Pretty easy. She just found something about ownership. Isn't that cool?
I was trying to hoodoo it.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
$500,000 hoodoo.
Yes.
Uh,
How exciting is that?
Do you have anything that needs to be brought up on that?
Yeah, so at the state level, they do a
Okay,
reverse
okay.
auction.
We'll-
They buy
we'll get
salt.
together and work
Like
on
they ask each county, how much salt do you
Okay,
think
good
you
deal.
need?
Thank you.
100 tons. They go through
Good job.
everybody who wants to participate.
Good job.
And
All
then
right.
the state level will hold a reverse auction. So all the people who sell salt, which it ain't but 3 or 4 of them, probably 3, they participate in this reverse auction. So, it starts out, well, I'll sell it for, $2 a ton, next guy, and then that post, and it gives you a certain amount of time that you can post, well, all right, I'll sell it for 175, and they
The
just
salt.
keep going, until.
How does Logan County figure into that?
How does, we buy about 100, well, we just.
It's 100
pretty much
100
tons.
tons.
100 tons. That's what I wanted.
All right.
Thank you.
Next order on business is executive session. We do have some orders that we need to go through. 61.810-1B, which is deliberation on future acquisition or sale of real estate property.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No other discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
That ain't done
Baker.
yet.
Yes, we'll be going into executive session. We'll be coming back. We'll notify, come out of executive session. Thank you guys for your.
I believe you.
All right, we're back on. All right, we're back. Thank you all for
Just a
your
note from
patience.
closed session, just noted that we got maybe a potential real estate deal that we might talk in the future. Just need more due diligence to happen before any action takes place.
Correct. Thank you, sir. Next up on the agenda is post-agenda. I believe we have a couple of items. Chris, you want to go first?
I want to gauge your all's interest in a future court meeting next month. I've talked to Joe and to Phil about revisiting the solar ordinance setback limits, and would like to propose amending our setback limits to restore what matches the state statute, which in the state statute it has 1,000 foot off road, 1,000 foot off property boundaries, and 2,000 foot off of multiple other structures, hospitals, nursing homes, residents, neighborhoods, such. Not adding to anything, just basically wiping out the amended action from 2019 and restoring back to what the state statute says and just matching that. And if there's favorable consensus, I'd like to have Joe work on
I think it
helping.
would be good to revisit the ordinance for one reason regardless, and that new legislation came in, did allow us to address having county level decommissioning bonds. So I think we should go ahead and, with the protection they have in the current ordinance, this would solidify that. The Public Service Commission currently does that for us, but this would take any gray area out of it. Something I'll credit Thomas, you've had a lot of, you've said a lot about this over the years with this, so we probably need to do it for that. I think what Chris would be asking is whether there would be a consensus among the court to do away with the more narrow ones that were passed in 19, to go back out to those 1,000 and 2,000. The effect would be that certain things we have listed in our current one would not necessarily be specifically included, though they would be protected by the areas that we have. So I think the thought would be, if there was a consensus, to go ahead and do that now, to do that, and if not, maybe you all think about that between now and the next court meeting and see where it might be.
And again, I know we don't want to we're not looking at all to put ourselves in being challenged. We're just basically restoring, just matching our standards with state standards. That's really what I'm wanting to propose doing.
So, I mean, I think it's really just putting a Band-Aid on the inevitable, which is countywide zoning.
It is.
Yep.
But, considering the unknown of when or if that'll ever happen, I just...
Zoning would be the best way to handle it, because there could still be potential legal challenges to what we did then or what we would be doing now. Planning and zoning would give the ability to basically deem a property residential or agricultural and prevent those from coming in if that's what folks wanted. Might be, I mean, Chris has stated his desire, but if we're not there for that, it might just be one that we continue to discuss along with the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I mean, to me, this is the quickest means of addressing this one specific issue. And again, like I said, not trying to make it more stringent than what the precedent that's already been set as far as statewide. So I don't know if everybody has a favorable to taking it to the next level. I don't want to waste Joe's time, if
I think we definitely need to look at the portion of decommissioning that you mentioned 3 weeks back, and it was a law passed for decommissioning. I mean, I think we definitely need to make sure the decommissioning portion is, regardless of if someone has agriculture and they decide that they want to lease their property to someone wanting to do a solar farm, even with zoning, it had to be turned into commercial. And then if it were to be somewhere that nobody was raising a fuss about, nobody cared, then it could pass. I mean, you know, it could, even if you have zoning, I mean, it could be passed to move it to commercial. I think just the one that's already went through had neighboring properties that, you know, just didn't want to see the solar panels, and I understand that, but I just think, you know, I don't know.
My suggestion would be that the decommissioning stuff, I can start working on it. It's not quite as urgent because as we've seen with this one, they don't move real quick. So if anybody has maybe strong feelings, somebody, Chris, think about that between now and the court meeting and next court meeting or the future, and we can continue to evolve on it. But I can try to get a draft written up of at least that.
I'm not saying I'm opposed to what Chris is recommending. I'm just, you know, I just think it's just a Band-Aid on the inevitable, which is planning and zoning for the county-wide.
Correct.
I just, and I may be wrong, Chris, you know more about it than me, but as I recall when this first started, not with the company that's with us, that's actually building it, but a company before that, we made our setbacks greater than state. Yeah, we come in there and change that. What was in?
We brought them in.
Huh?
We brought them in.
No, that was in 2019.
Oh.
When we first did an ordinance, our first ordinance was greater than state standards. We made them bigger. Matter of fact, that company requested that. Hey, take this 100 to 200, take this 150 to 250. You know, I'd have to pull that and look at all that. And when we did our first ordinance, which was prior to 19, they were greater than state standards. And then the company that actually, you know, of course, they went through a bid process, and that company did not win a TVA contract. Mm-hmm. And then a year or two later, next round comes along, and Silicon Ranch won a contract. Okay, and then, as y'all know, in 2019 they came in and wanted to change some setback ordinances. And I thought they were just vegetation ordinances. I done forgot about that.
We brought them in, but then we made barriers greater. It was almost like a quid pro quo where we're giving you what you want, but in the order to do that, we're going to beef up this for the protection of the rest of the community.
So I knew it was something like that. But at the beginning, our ordinance was greater than state standards.
The current state's guideline is 1,000 and 2,000.
Okay, but that must have changed it since our first one.
So I'm just looking to match, is really.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with doing so. It wouldn't change, obviously, what's going on now.
That's right.
It would just change in the future.
Correct.
So,
You think that's just putting a Band-Aid on inevitable and having planning?
sure, I mean, but, you know, I think it provides a buffer until you can get something better done.
I think it kind of bullies the landowner not being able to do what he or she wants to do with their land, but it's whatever y'all want to do.
I mean, they can lobby my thing is that we will just always match what the state says, so that fight's more like
But I'm with
state
Thomas. We need to look into that because we doubled what the state had at that point.
At this point, I wouldn't suggest doing that. If we're going to do it, let's just go back to the standards. They're pretty big and legality of it. I would feel more comfortable if we just adopted the state.
I know he's very concerned, but you know, he don't want to open ourselves up for a challenge, you know, and that's why I just want to match. You know.
That way they have two entities instead of separate entities.
Well, I mean, that means we didn't pull it out of nowhere, you know.
That's
our thing
what I
is
meant.
we're just
Yeah.
referencing.
You're kind of echoing the other.
Yep.
I got it.
I'll prepare something and I'll have it written in a way that if we need to pivot and go away from it, we can. Y'all just think about it between now and the first June meeting.
All right, regarding the Humane Society, I'd like to ask the magistrates to give me the authority to work on a compromise that would extend the Humane Society's dual occupation of the building, working with animal control for a period of time after our current contract expires in June.
After you go you all have taken on the ACO
Yeah.
position.
After the county has taken over the ACO position to allow the Humane Society to stay in and work together for a period of time.
You have an idea of that period of time?
A couple months, and until we can come
Just
up
sort of
with.
like do a renewal every
Well,
2 months,
just,
3 months or
we
something?
wouldn't be renewing a contract, because the
But if renew the agreement, you're saying?
it'd be
I
just
think
more.
what he's proposing would we've still got 6 weeks, roughly 5 weeks. He can come back with a more specific option for you at a future court meeting, but I think just with the quick nature of it and trying to make sure our animals are looked after, he's trying to find something to where it gives us a little more working time.
Yeah, the AOC is going to be separate now.
38
Is that correct?
Yeah, the county, after June 30th, the county's taking over the ACO portion.
Okay. And then Humane Society will be on a separate.
Yeah, they will continue to operate as they always do.
Society already is a separate organization.
Right.
Okay.
I think it would
Clarify.
from Jason's perspective, and I would agree with him, it would be kind to them to where they're not looking to have to move exactly in 38 days if the two can coexist while we go through this, finding the next phase of our relationship with the two bodies.
It's fine.
I give, I'm fine with that permission.
Okay. Good deal. So you making that a motion?
Yep, that's my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Tyler. Is there any other discussion on this?
I guess I'm a little confused what the motion is. I mean, what are we allowing you to do other than occupy the building?
So Animal Control and the Humane Society will operate out of the same building for a short period of time.
Okay, so that's all you're asking?
Yes.
It's basically making him a one-man committee to go get you all a more formal.
Correct.
period and
Yeah, yeah, right.
arrangement. But I think if you all weren't okay with it, the Humane Society would need to know as well.
Yeah.
Okay. No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you.
And a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?